Oh, you dirty rat. What's going on here? You want to know about this, guys? This is something that happens fairly rarely, but it does happen every now and then, and it's not good. So I've just got a client here, and we're just, having a quick look at the vehicle. I think he's probably going to be picking up some parts was the plan, but gee, I've got to have a good look at this. You dirty rat. Check this out, guys. Look at this wiring loom. So he's been looking around the engine bay a little bit. He's in the VIP group watching videos. For anyone that's not sure, the VIP group is a group on Facebook. It's only for clients, so no need to try and join unless you've made your parts purchase or had repairs done at the Prado Hospital. What happens here is it's pretty rare. It's normally a thing we hear about in Queensland and stuff like that. This vehicle is from down the beach on the Mornington Peninsula, so maybe there's a bit of issue where there's some mice or rats down there, maybe, I don't know. But what did you say, mate? You've got a dirty rat hanging around?
Yeah, there's a rat in the house.
Oh no.
Hit him a couple times with the trap and he keeps getting out.
You know what? I reckon he comes out at night and he sleeps in the car. Because I haven't climbed up yet to have a good look, but just going to show run. All the experts on these dirty rats have a good look at that and tell me, that looks like some pretty sharp teeth. What are they like chewing on wires? So we haven't looked around anywhere else yet. So let's have a bit of a look around this engine bay, and we'll just have a bit of a chit chat like we normally do and point out. So if you can remind me, how many kilometres on the car right now?
Just over 196,000.
Okay, so just under 200,000 Ks. It's a 2014. Okay, and it's been, the first thing we wanted to note is, has it been worked on? And we note that it's been worked on, and the telltale sign is, see the wiring loom? You know, you do, once they've been worked on, depending what you've done with the loom, you do get a bit of that. We try not to bend it too much and push it back down into place so that hopefully it stays there. And in doing so, looking at that and having a quick look, it didn't take more than what? A few seconds to go boom, you know, check that out. And the first thing I said was, has it had a chip on it? And I didn't think it was that, but I thought I'd ask the question, because what happens when people have got the chips like the Steinbauer and that? It's a piggyback system where you know, it plugs into the injectors and the injector plug plugs in, so it's like a, you know, what do you call it, piggyback system. And a lot of the plugs can rub through the wires and wiring loom and zip ties up around here, so I just thought I'd eliminate that. But gonna have to get up there a bit closer and have a look at that damage on the wiring. So keep an eye on that, guys, particularly for the Hiluxes and the 120s as well, because you've got the intercooler up here, so all this wiring's hidden under there, and it's quite common that if they're going to chew on the wires, it is up here at the back along here, or on the back 2, number 4, number 3 wire there. So if you're having problems with misfires and stuff like that, it can be either chips that have rubbed through wires, or people have pulled on wires, which we've mentioned before in other videos, but let's just mention that. So if you want to check your plugs, this is probably maybe a little bit of an important one. If you want to check your plugs here, you can see that little rubber grommet in behind the back of the wires. They should sit just like that, right? So they're sitting pretty good. Have a look. That's what they look like normally. Right, hard to see with the way the light is, right? But if someone's pulled on the wires, it will often sometimes pull that grommet out a little bit as well. So anyway, just gonna have a bit of a look around and see what else there is to see, any other evidence that it's been worked on or things missing. So we're going to have a look down behind here to see if, oh, we can get in there. Hard to show you, but a bit sideways, there you go. See if those nuts are there, they're there, that's good. Okay, the bolt down on the back pipe, down under the vacuum line here, that's there, that's good. Okay, obviously we've seen the 2 clamps up there already, so those 2 clamps are still there, that's good. So if they work, I'm pretty sure it's been worked on by that wiring loom, but at the moment there's no other evidence that it's been worked on, which is good. Okay, just having a look around. The vacuum line up the top there on the EJAR valve's back a little bit, so that's, I suppose, a little bit because normally from genuine they're pushed all the way in. Just having a look around. So the good news is this is pretty good. Someone's definitely worked on it. The other telltale sign is the yellow and the pink, guys. The vacuum lines have got to be on. The yellow one's normally at the top and the pink is normally at the bottom, but this pink one, see, it's been pulled up, bent out of position. I'm just going to re-bend it back a little bit just to show you more like where it normally is, right? Normally it would sit around about there. So that was bent up a little bit. Just be careful of those pipes, they're just metal pipes. Never seen one broken, but if you bend them, they could get bent, kinked, broken, whatever the case may be. So definitely that's a second part of evidence that it's been worked on. So let's just look for something else. This one's pretty good, okay? So this is one that hasn't been butchered, you know, like, you know, sometimes we look at these vehicles and we go, oh no. Look, the other telltale sign is that this pipe's been off. This is a little bit over tightened, not a big deal. Have you had this off at all yourself? No? Okay, so you can see the marks on there, on the nut, that it's been undone, and it's just a little bit over tightened. So over's better than under, I suppose. You don't want it popping off, but probably a little bit not quite so tight there, people. What else we got here? We're out in the sunlight, so sorry about the way the light is, but it's all right. No oil leaks, no cracked valve covers is good. Get down there and have a bit of a better look-see. I can't see from here where I am, but you can probably see in the picture if there's spanner marks or on that bolt on the valve cover. Again, I think so. You know, you can see some marks on that one. That's the cover over the cover. Anyway, check out that, you dirty rat, yeah? You dirty rat. Let's get up there and have a closer look, and we'll have a bit more of a look around and come back to you if there's anything else we see. A couple other little points we noticed, evidence that it's been worked on before, was when repairing the wiring loom, both the clips, the black one here and the brown one, in my full detail injector replacement videos, I talk about releasing the little, you press the little tab back, the little thing that clicks on these, click, 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 zip ties, you know, zip. Anyway, we release that, but what other people do when they work on it, they just pull these till they come out, because you can't actually get to the bottom and release the little tabs on the clip underneath. So that was another little bit of evidence that had been worked on. And the other thing I noticed, if you look closely, see on this plug here, that number 1 plug, I'll get out the way, we'll get in there. See the marks where someone's used a hard tool to get to. Look, however you need to do it, but these are generally pretty easy. You just need to make sure, so I'll do a demonstration here, right? You just need to make sure you've pressed that in properly, and that'll release enough for this, and just give it a wiggle, usually. See, I'm doing it with the wrong hand, yeah, swap hands, here we go. Maybe it's the thumb and then I can't see it. So the thumb goes like that, and a gentle wiggle, because the plugs are sort of tight. It's moved back about 1 millimeter already, right? So now all I need to do is just wiggle. See, a lot of plugs are tight, and these ones are your clean ones that aren't tight. Point is, you don't need to, you're best not to put tools. You could push it too much and break it. They only go in so far. I've never broken one of these, so they are very tough. But yeah, just a little bit, just showing you the evidence. You can see some marks on the top of this one as well. Whatever, anyway. So we've sorted out that wiring loom. This is what we've done, guys. So we had a very close inspection and noticed there was only a couple little pecks that went through any wire. And it was difficult to get into. My decision was, anyway, we taped it all up nice and tight. There's a few layers over there, so we've tidied that up. That's definitely not going to be a problem. So all depending how bad it is. Sometimes if it's worse than that, you're going to need to strip the wiring loom back, maybe even cut wires, put some heat shrink in, join wires, and, you know, use the heat shrink, and all sorts of, you know, it can get messy, time consuming, and it's obviously at a fair reach into the vehicle as well. You know, if you've got a bull bar and a lift and all that sort of thing, you're going to be right up there trying to get in there, and it's one of those hard things to work on. So it's either going to be a bit painful for you, or you're going to have to pay an auto electrician. It's going to cost you a bit of money to, yeah, it's going to take some time to get that right. But with this one, like I said, it was just a few little pecks. They weren't near each other. It looked worse than it was. There is some inside the first layer, so it was basically the number 3 injector. There was a blue and yellow wire. Then you've got a cover over that. Inside that cover, there's some copper covers and stuff like that, which there were some pecks out of that. Kind of made it look worse than what it was. It wasn't really that bad. Yeah, it was our decision that, you know, we could just sort that out. It was a pretty minor fix. Now what we want to see is, hopefully we get some feedback at a later date about that bloody dirty rat. That dirty rat that's been chewing on the wires. You can also see, see just here, he started pecking on it as well. Right, you can sort of see there's a little hole, having a go there. If you look around, you might find some other spots. This is their favourite spot up on top. I haven't seen any wires chewed on anywhere else on these engines before that I can think of anyway. So client did also ask about this oil weep here, so I said, look, not a big deal at all. There is a little bit of oil in the intake, so we could just get onto that around there, that 10 mil, and just give it a quarter of a turn, just nip it up a little bit, and then give it a clean up, and that'll solve that. It's not that it's an issue, but just to keep it all neat and tidy. What else did we come across? I think that's about it from memory. So yeah, that's a bada bing, bada boom, we're out of here. If you got something like that, please give us the thumbs up, hit the like button, and yeah, if you haven't already, subscribe, turn the bell on so you don't miss the next important bit of information on little surprises like, you dirty rat. Catch you guys, see ya.